Welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to talk about solid state chemistry of Unit 5 in General Chemistry 1. Myself, Dr. M. Kumar, Associate Professor, belongs to the Department of Chemistry, Faculty of Arts and Science, BIHER, Chennai. In this video, the following subtopics are going to discuss. They are structure of crystals, crystal lattice, unit cell, types of crystals, coordination number, atomic radius, crystal defects, N and P type semiconductors, and hydrogen bonding. These subtopics are present in Unit 5 of General Chemistry 1. So, in this video, we are going to cover Unit 5 of General Chemistry 1 topic. At first, we are going to talk about crystal structure of crystals. Crystal structures. Crystals are three-dimensional proper arrangement of atoms, ions, or molecules. Atoms, ions, or molecules arranged in three-dimensional proper arrangement. You just see the figure. In this figure, we can see the balls are arranged in three-dimensional manner. X, Y and Z plane. These molecules are arranged in a three-dimensional manner. This type of arrangement is called crystals. So, overall arrangement of particles in a crystal is called crystal lattice. Three-dimensional proper arrangement of ions, atoms or molecules are called crystals. Overall arrangement is called crystal lattice, or simply we can say lattice or space lattice. So when we connect ions, atoms present in that crystals with a line, we can get a box-like structure. That boxes, smallest boxes are called unit cell. That unit cells, each corners have one atom, one point that is called lattice points. These lattice points may governed by atoms, ions or molecules. These positions are represented by bold dots. Bold dots are bold dots are circle. Is called as lattice points or lattice sites. Overall shape and structure of a crystal system is governed by the unit cells. You see the figure. You see the figure. This crystal lattice made up of smallest boxes. That small box is called unit cell. So crystals are made up of a large number of unit cells arranged in three-dimensional manner. The definition for unit cell is a smallest unit of a crystal array is called a unit cell. In a unit cell, each corner should have one atoms or ions. This is the definition for a unit cell. Already we explained in this slide. The smallest box is called a unit cell. The crystals are generally classified into 7 types. They are simple cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, rhombohedral, monoclinic, triclinic, and hexagonal. These classifications are based on the length and angles of ions present on three-dimensional manner. In the length between two atoms or ions, or the angles between the ions vary. Due to that, we classified it to 7 crystal types. At first, we are going to talk about simple cubic crystal. In simple cubic crystals, the length between A and B and C, I mean X, Y and Z planes is equal. The distance between these two atoms in X plane, Y plane and Z plane is equal, as well as the angles between A, B, C, I mean alpha, beta, gamma, XY plane is 90 degree. So it's simply called as simple cubic. This type of crystals are arranged in cube-like structure. When we go to tetragonal structure, crystal structure, here the length between A and B is equal, but the length of C is vary from A and B, as well as the angles between alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha, beta, gamma is nothing but angle between x, y, y, z and z x planes. The angles between alpha, beta and gamma is 90 degree. This type of crystals are called tetragonal. This type of crystals are simply called tetragonal structures. Next we go to orthorhombic crystal structure. In this structure, the length between A and B is not equal, as well as the length of B is not equal to C. But the angle between xy, yz and z plane, alpha, beta, gamma is 90 degree. This type of crystals are called orthorhombic crystals. So up to now we study about the length change on crystal lattice. Next we go to rhombohedral crystal structure. In this crystal structure, the length of A and length of B, length of C is equal. A is equal to B, B is equal to C, but the angle between alpha, beta and gamma is not 90 degree. We compare this simple cubic with the rhombohedral, it's slightly tilted. That slightly tilted structure of a simple cubic is generally called as rhombohedral. When we go to monoclinic structure, the length of A is not equal, length of A is equal to B, but the length of C is not equal to A and B. This is similar to tetragonal. The length of this crystal is similar to tetragonal. Here A is equal to B, but AB is not equal to C. The same condition here, but the difference between tetragonal and monoclinic is angle change. In tetragonal, each planes have 90 degree. Alpha, beta and gamma have 90 degree. But let's go to monoclinic crystal structure. The angle between alpha and gamma is 90 degree, but angle between beta and gamma, beta and alpha is not equal to 90 degree. So it's similar to slightly tilted. Next we go to triclinic. This triclinic structure, its length is similar to orthorhombic crystal structure. Here also A is not equal to B, B is not equal to C. The same length condition in orthorhombic and triclinic. Let's go to angle change. In this crystal structure, the bond angle, plane angle is not equal to 90 degree. Alpha is not equal to beta, beta is not equal to gamma. I mean, they are not in 90 degree. So the crystal arrangement is slightly tilted compared to orthorhombic. Next we go to hexagonal. This hexagonal structure is totally different from other crystal structures, because you may see the figure. Here we have hexane-like structure. The ions or atoms present in this manner. That's why this type of crystals are called hexagonal crystals. In this crystal lattice, the length of A is equal to length of B. Length of A is equal to length of B, but length of C is not equal to A and B. Similarly, the angles between alpha and beta is 90 degree. Alpha, beta 90 degree, but gamma is 120 degree. This type of crystals are called hexagonal structures. This is the classification of crystal structures. Next, we are going to talk about coordination number. Coordination number is nothing but number of opposite ions present in a crystal lattice. Let's take sodium chloride. In sodium chloride, each sodium metal surrounded by each chlorine ion. Similarly, each chlorine ions are surrounded by sodium ion. In sodium chloride crystal structure, each sodiums are surrounded by 6 number of chlorine ion, as well as each chlorine ion surrounded by each sodium ion. So, number of opposite ions present in crystal lattice is called coordination number. In coordination chemistry, coordination number is defined as the number of ions, ligands present in a central metal atom is called coordination number. That is in coordination chemistry. In crystal lattice, number of opposite ions present in a crystal. Here, if we consider this ball as sodium metal Na plus, there are 6 number of chlorine ions surrounded by the sodium. This number is called coordination number in crystal lattice. Next, we are going to talk about atomic radius. Generally, atomic radius is defined as the distance between central nucleus and outermost orbital of atom. The distance between central nucleus and outermost orbital is called atomic radius. We cannot directly calculate atomic radius by using any measuring techniques, because atoms are very tiny particles. We cannot directly measure it. That's why we use some other techniques. When we combine that atoms in homolytic manner or heterolytic manner, we can get molecules. When we get the molecules, some molecules can form as crystals. When that crystals undergo X-ray diffraction, X-ray studies, we can get diameters. We can easily find the distance between two nucleus. The distance between two nucleus are considered as diameter of that homolytic atom. So, we can easily calculate radius of atom by d by 2, because d radius is equal to d by 2. From this calculation, we can find atomic radius. Here we can find atomic radius from face-centered cubic crystals. From this figure, we can calculate atomic radius by using this equation. R is equal to root 2 by 4 A. A is distance between two atoms. This is considered as A. From this equation, we can find atomic radius. Radius is nothing but the distance between central nucleus and the outermost orbital. That is called atomic radius. This atomic radius easily calculated from crystal structures. Next, we are going to talk about defects on crystals. In molecular ion arrangement to form crystals, it may imperfect arrangement arise. That imperfect arrangement of ions or atoms or molecules are called crystal defects. Generally, they are classified into three types. They are vacancy defect, interstitial defect, and the metal excess defect. Then the metal excess defect further classified into 4 types. They are F centers, interstitial ions, and electrons defect, positive ions absent defect, extra interstitial negative ion defects. These are the defects of crystals we are going to discuss in detail. At first, we are going to talk about vacancy defect or Schottky defect. You see the figure here, one negative ion and one positive ion missed. In this figure, one positive ion missed, here one negative ion missed. Due to that, two vacancies are formed. But overall count of positive ion is equal to count of negative ion. This type of crystal defects are called Schottky defect or vacancy defect. Due to the formation of vacancy, the crystal defect arises is called vacancy defect or Schottky defect. Next one is interstitial defect or Fresnel defect, which means a small positive ion placed interstitial line of crystal. Actually, this positive ion should present in this hole, but the positive ion moved and placed interstitial area of crystal. This type of crystal defects are called interstitial defect or Fresnel defect. Next one is metal excess defect. In metal excess defect, see the figure. In this crystal type, one anion missed. Here A plus means cations, B minus means anions. A means acid, B means base. Here one base missed. Instead of that missing base, one electron function instead of B. Overall charge neutralized by this electron, but when we count the ions, A plus is excess than B. So this type of excess is called metal excess defect. A defect arises due to absence of one B minus. That B minus deficiency nullified by one electron. This type of crystal defects are called metal excess defect, because when we count this A plus is excess than B minus. That's why this is called metal excess defect. Next one is interstitial ions and electrons defect. Here in this type of defect, one cation present as excess. Here A plus present as excess. Due to that, a crystal defect formed. This type of crystal defect is called interstitial ion or electrons defect, because when we count the cations and the anions, anion count will reduce. Due to that, electron deficiency occurred due to excess of metal ion, because of the size is very lower compared to anions. The size of metal is smaller than anion. That's why they can easily place interstitial lines. This type of crystals are called interstitial ions defect or electrons defect. Next one is positive ions absent. This type of crystal defect, you see the figure. Here one cation missed. Here one cation missed, but this cation have 2 plus. In this crystal structure, each cations have 1 plus charge. But only one atom have 2 plus. this cation have 2 plus, so this vacancy can nullify or neutralize by this 2 plus. This type of crystal defect is called positive ion absent defect. Actually here one positive cation absent, but that absence was covered by, managed by this cation, 2 plus cation. This type of crystals are crystal defects are called a positive ion absent defect. Next one is extra interstitial negative ions. In this figure we can see each positive, cations. Each cations have one positive charge except only one cation. This cation have 2 plus. So one positive, one plus charge is excess. This excess plus charge can be nullified by one anion present not in the crystal lattice. This B minus is not present in the crystal lattice. This type of crystal defect is called a extra interstitial negative ion. Yes, sir. One negative ion present in the interstitial area, not in crystal lattice point. This type of defects are called extra interstitial negative ions crystal. Next we are going to talk about semiconductors. Actually conductors are conducting electricities. They conduct electricity. Insulators will not conduct electricity, but the semiconductors will partially conduct electricity. When the particular condition, they will conduct electricity. In nowadays semiconductors play important role in electronics and electronic devices. According to band theory, the conductors have a very close distance between valence band electrons and conduction band electrons. The distance between valence electron and conduction band and valence band is too close. They are called conductors. All metals valence band and conduction bands are very close, so the electrons present in valence band easily jump to empty conduction band. That's why metals are conducting electricity. Now let's go to insulators. In insulators, the distance between valence band and conduction band is too long, so the applied energy is not sufficient to migrate electrons present in the valence band to conduction band. Electrons cannot jump from here to here due to the distance. That's why insulators cannot conduct electricity. Let's go to semiconductors. The semiconductors distance are a small energy gap. When we apply energy, they can easily jump from valence band to conduction band at particular condition. Actually, semiconductors are classified into two types. They are N-type semiconductors and P-type semiconductors. In N-type semiconductors, the distance between, let's take silicon and antimony. Here the distance between valence band and conduction band is too long in silica. Silica have very large band gap. When we add antimony as impurity, the jumping electron can have a takeoff board. Here this is the valence band of antimony. So when we now we see the distance between valence band of antimony and conduction band of silica. it's too narrow. So the electrons present in this valence band easily jump to this conduction band. Due to that, they can conduct electricity. This type of conductance is called N-type semiconductors, because number of electrons donated by the impurity antimony, and electron present in antimony easily jump to the conduction band of silica. This type of conductors are called N-type semiconductors. Let's go to P-type semiconductors. Here, when we add boron as impurity in silica, the conduction band of boron placed in between valence band and conduction band of silica. See here, this is the valence band of boron. The electrons present in this is the conduction band of boron. When we apply energy, the electrons present in valence band of silica easily jump to this conduction band of boron. Then they can migrate to the conduction band of silica. Due to that, electrons from here to here migrated with help of this conduction band. This type of semiconductors are called P-type semiconductors. Next one is hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bondings are a special case of dipole-dipole attraction between molecules, not a covalent bond. You see the example here. Let's take HCl, hydrochloric acid. Here Cl have large electronegativity, so it form delta negative, and hydrogen have less weak electronegativity. That's why we put delta positive. Well, let's go to molecules. Large number of molecules present in hydrochloric acid. Each hydrogens can approach each halogens. Halogens have extra electron as well as it have electronegativity. Due to that, a weak interaction between this hydrogen and this halogen formed. Due to that, they make interaction. That interaction is not a bond, but they have interaction. This type of weak interactions are called hydrogen bonding. Let's go to water molecule. Here water molecule also have this type of weak interactions, because in water molecule oxygen have 2 lone pair of electrons. Oxygen have 2 lone pair of electrons and 2 hydrogens. These 2 lone pair of electrons can interact with the nearby hydrogens available from the other water molecule. Due to that, a weak interaction arises between oxygen and hydrogen. These interactions are called hydrogen bonding. These hydrogen bondings are classified into 2 types. One is intermolecular hydrogen bonding, another one is intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding between water molecule, ethanol, ammonia, and HCl is called intermolecular hydrogen bonding, because in these molecules the hydrogen bonding arises between each individual molecules. Let's go to 2-nitrophenol. In this molecule, the hydrogen and oxygens are placed in same molecule, but in the case of water, ammonia, hydrogen and other electron donating groups are in different various molecules. The interaction between same molecule is called intramolecular hydrogen bonding. So The interaction between hydrogen and other nitrogen or oxygen or any other lone pair having electrons atoms in different molecules are called intermolecular hydrogen bonding.